You're listening to Thinking Out Loud, where two buddies nip it right in, ranting over topics about humans and their humanities and sometimes their lack thereof. Topics as diverse and colorful as their race and humor that tickle their curious, peculiar bones. And would yours too if you think along. One's a budding psychologist, and another's a psychological case. Hop in the whirlpool of worldly ventures. You're invited. Finally, with the end of this part and this episode, we are here having a conversation about, as you know, games and psychology. So it took a very different direction, and we went into spirituality and how scientifically it is not accepted, and how it can be and it should be accepted into the scientific academic researches, and how this is only going to be beneficial for all of us. And yeah, we backtrack and we come back to how technology and education and technology and our lives can be very, very much. Of course, it is useful, but how it can be made more useful in terms of education, and can how we can strike a balance between this modern technology and the esoteric, spiritual, old lifestyle. And yeah, I hope we share similar views on this. And yeah, let's move on and listen to the final part. Thank you. Since it is not scientific enough, people don't associate or they don't make it a part of the curriculum. It
Perhaps they
should
don't
be.
understand its science. They don't understand how scientific it is. See, you can always do a longitudinal study on
This
a.
is so. This is where the uh, if then we also have to teach people about what is scientific. People somewhere
Yeah,
get confused.
one minute.
Okay, ha ha. Ha.
So scientific, though, yeah, it should be a part of curriculum. Scientific thinking. You're learning science. Definitely, you should know what is the basis of all science. It is this scientific model, this scientific approach of doubt, of research, of take a hypothesis, experiment, and see, and be ready that your hypothesis could be rejected. So keep a null also. Be open to these possibilities and do sincere research. Be a sincere seeker of truth. That is what scientific approaches. Coming to meditation, coming to this thing, at the basis of all spirituality has been meditation and love. All this talk about it, and because spirituality is more close to art than science, so there has been a more artistic thing. But again, you could study art also in a scientific way. Just if you could make a longitudinal study on a stratified random sample, you know what that mode of sampling is.
Stratified random sampling. Let me just
Why I'm
recollect.
saying stratified? Random means you take a very good representative of the populace. That is why we do random sampling.
Wait, let me recollect.
So I'll just keep saying it.
Partitioned into subpopulations. Okay, okay, okay.
Yeah. Stratified is cutting it down. Random is not being biased. Random is just choosing randomly. But stratified, what you do is you have a, like, what I mean by it is different ethnicities, different gender, different economic background, different culture. You take randoms from all of them. And particularly you take children, क्योंकि children पे meditation का effect देखना बहुत जरूरी है. If it has a very positive effect, then it is something worth implementing into into every country and into every academics. So do they take a stratified random sample of kids and then a longitudinal study, maybe 5 years. 5 years would be a very good length. And सी क्या इफेक्ट होता है अगर हर दिन 1 घंटा मेडिटेट किए तो. एंड एक एनवायरनमेंट भी थोड़ा चेंज करो. मेक द एनवायरनमेंट मोर सोशली पॉजिटिव. Childhood years are vulnerable. Childhood years are very they have a deep impact on the child. So see what will be the impact of a good positive environment where children feel their emotional needs accepted, where there is meditation and where there is a lot of creative freedom. Because meditation, love, and creativity are supposed to be these hallmark spiritual qualities. And when we're talking about spirituality, we're not talking about debates and philosophies. We're talking about qualities. What qualities develop in the person as a result of his or her life being spiritual? So somebody goes to church, somebody goes to mosque, to temple. But if they still remain fanatic, violent, but तो फिर तो spirituality का कोई ऐसा खास effect नहीं हुआ, क्योंकि communists भी वैसे हो सकते हैं. And communists are not spiritual; they are complete anti-spiritual. They are materialists. But if a communist is also fanatic and a religious person is also fanatic, basic psychology तो दोनों का same है. And if both of them have an inclination towards violence, दोनों का psychology तो काफी same है. But on the other hand, if somebody meditates, and they don't have to be religious, they don't have to believe in anything. Meditation is like a natural state, like sleep. Do you have a religion about sleep? You sleep even like humans, even sleep like dogs. कुत्ते की तरह सोना, right? So animals में तक वो इतना difference नहीं है. Humans are so similar when it comes to sleep. It is a natural state. When it comes to hunger, when it comes to sexual arousal, when it comes to any emotion, there are some fundamental universals. The same comes to meditation. What will be the effect if these kids in a stratified random sample, 5 years, हर दिन 1 घंटा, प्रेफरेबली सुबह को नहीं तो दोपहर को स्कूल खत्म होने से पहले 1 घंटा बस शांत ध्यान में बैठे दे, वो mindful of their breathing, of the sounds around, they relax their body, they allowed their mind to relax, and they just stayed in that relaxed aware state, which is what Zen says meditation is a relaxed aware state, which is a natural thing for all human beings. If you remained in that state, what would be different in these children compared to other children? All the other factors remaining constant. तब हमको समझेगा स्पिरिचुअलिटी का साइंस कि सच में इसका एक डेफिनेट इफेक्ट होता है. And if that effect is positive, if it helps people to not be bad but actually be good, which is a desirable thing. जैसे every science basically is geared towards helping us become more comfortable, become more convenient, um, become more capable of doing something. Medicine helps us live longer and healthier. Technology helps us transport healthier. So maybe spirituality helps us be more good, be more healthy inside, be more calm, and be more intelligent. So isn't it something worth having?
I agree to what you have said about everything. Are there any academic institutions which are willing to do this? Are there any? Of
Right,
course, there
right.
will be definitely a person who is willing to do such a research to make spiritual scientific. But are there any academic institutions which will be willing to fund these kind of?
Maybe not academic then. अरे fund करने का भी क्या जरूरत है? It is such a simple research. Have you thought about it? It will not require a lot of funding.
Okay, then ठीक है. What kind of journals will be agreeing to publish such? I'm not being very negative towards it. It's a very good idea, but what kind of journals are you trying to publish?
Have you heard of academia.edu?
Academia.edu, yes.
So
I have an account in that. Yes, I have.
I
I
also have
use
an
it
account,
for
and
that.
I keep getting these researches, very एकदम esoteric sounding researches, transpersonal phenomenology of the consciousness. ये भी publish होता है भाई, है ना?
Yes,
You heard of it?
yes.
ये भी publish होता है,
Transpersonal
होएगा.
होता है. Transpersonal होता है. But
माइंडफुलनेस पे तो बहुत रिसर्च पब्लिश होता रहता है, योगा पे होता रहता है.
researches published होते हैं, but the amount of researches that are published and the amount of researches that are recognized is a big difference in this.
हाँ, तो you
The
will have to
amount
show
of
a lot of scientific validity, right?
not based on scientific validity. Dude, there is a lot of stuff going on behind. Anyways, a lot of politics stuff. Anyways, yeah, I agree. As you said,
And let's just start a journal of spiritual science.
uh, Journal of Spiritual Science. Okay, we can do that. There's a journal for Indian psychology, which takes up the Indian perspectives, that is the Veda and the Hindu, and trying to associate and make it logical by using psychology and
It's basically very Hindu oriented.
Not just
Buddhist, not
Hindu,
Zen.
not just Hindu. Buddhist is
So
also
Buddhist, Zen, and
Indian
also.
philosophy. Yeah, anything.
So there should be one for this, for Taoism, for Zen, for Sufi, for Hindu, for Buddhist, for Tantra, for all of them, for even some
And
esoteric Christian.
Tantra is part of the Indian philosophy, so
Yes, it is.
not to worry.
Shiva,
Mm-hmm.
Shiva Tantra, right? Right.
Yeah. In the end, yeah, I totally agree. To have
So let's just backtrack to technology, entertainment, video game, and
technology, entertainment, video game. That was how we started, and then we spoke about how we have
it has a
been
sort of
influenced.
dystopian scenario.
Yes, how we have been influenced, and how we have been seeing such things in terms of dystopia or utopia, as you mentioned, and
So
how
if
to
the
make it
human
a.
being himself changes, maybe we can change the technology to more benevolent stuff. Wise tech.
It needs to be that, and
And
for to
the
make
role
that,
of video
yeah,
game. um, the role of what you're saying to make that.
to make that possible, there has to be the important role that is going to be played is by having what spiritual knowledge, being psycho-spiritually,
Psychoeducation.
yes, psycho-educated in spirituality. Not just that, of course, the uh, traditional psychoeducation of neurochemistry, neurobiology, and biopsychology, everything. That is also, of course, required to understand we as a biological machine,
Yes, yes,
and
yes.
not just that, but also as a emotional and a humane individual.
A being who can make conscious decisions,
Yes.
who
To
can be
also make that,
metaphorical,
and
can
going
may be
further
aware of
into
his
that,
own
to
quality.
also be what to understand the difference between, not a difference, but to truly understand what being scientific, because people get confused a lot of time what by being scientific as just finding the truth. But it's not just finding the truth, but it is the whole journey into that truth finding. It's that whole
Right.
journey which is being is called as being scientific. Yeah.
And
So
here, since you're talking about education,
mm,
you know how video games have that inbuilt ability to put the flow state.
mhm,
So why not make video games in such a way that you could learn all these जो भी informative subjects है.
mhm.
There was a time when this Thomas Edison, when he saw the potential of films and film media, he was one of the people who could manufacture ये क्या बोलते photography का equipment and all.
Okay.
So there is a very old video of which he shot through his very early video capturing device.
Mhm.
So he said कि एक time होगा जब textbooks will be completely discarded and you will the way education is being done will be changed and we learn through movies and it would have been a great scenario क्योंकि अभी तो क्या quality documentaries बना
Mhm.
सकते हैं एक चीज पे फिर भी we are relying on the very shittily written textbook कितना paper cut होता है कितना environmental pollution फिर भी हो रहा है because it is an industry because people are getting money from so the way that is happening, can't education also go into video gaming, into immersive gaming, particularly these information related subjects जो भी अपन थियोरेटिकल पढ़ते हैं और जिसका कोई भी ऐसा खास प्रैक्टिकल एप्लीकेशन नहीं हो रहा ह्यूमैनिटीज के जो सब्जेक्ट्स है दे आर नॉट एग्जैक्टली practical application but for you to become more aware of the human side of the world social sciences are there and then the theoretical part of all scientific subjects you could have a like video game could develop that way we could learn in such a flow state and एकदम जल्दी से and उसके बाद immediate उसका examination हो के कितने जल्दी a child could graduate do you think 10 साल का education could be covered in 4 years maybe
But then would it be worth it? It can be covered, of course.
definitely
People.
क्योंकि कितना free time you could do more things with your that childhood phase when you are so young and you should be really exploring your potential but you are sitting 8 hours studying in such a rote mechanical way in such a old way the textbooks and all एक टीचर एक बच्चे को बोलती है उठो तुम एक लाइन पढ़ो अच्छा दूसरा बच्चा तुम उठो, तुम एक पैराग्राफ पढ़ो. तो स्टूपिड तरीका है. कितने
Okay.
इफेक्टिवली हो सकता है
हाँ,
उनसे अंदर.
effectively होगा, but then let's look into it. Is the child going to lose anything from that? Because in terms of the classroom and the traditional way, the child is also learning human interaction and what a helping and coordinating a collective group study. He's also learning about the other students. He's also learning about.
भाई
He's also
ये I
experiencing
don't
the.
think
Mhm,
in my experience I don't think this happened. I don't remember learning a lot about my partner or anybody. क्योंकि ऐसा होता है, teachers don't really go and create that social environment, right? A
then
social positive
that
environment is
means
definitely
the
needed.
fault is not in the equipment, but in the occupation of the teacher and the person who's becoming a teacher. Above that,
So
to be honest,
yeah.
uh, the occupation of a teacher is not very much respected by the culture or by the community also.
How about this, Ray? How about this? कि
Mm,
8 hours में से
mm,
कितना घंटे we just sit and read.
mm,
Rather than that, every day, 5 days a week, and let's make school 6 days a week,
mhm,
and let's make school a whole playground of interaction and exploration,
mhm,
of inner exploration, of intrapersonal development, of interpersonal development, of intellectual development,
mhm,
of physical athletic development, and of becoming of these very important abilities of today's century: tech
mhm.
literacy, entrepreneurial mindset, scientific approach,
That is
human
so.
social soft skills.
These all activities can be done through school workshops, which
It can be
sometimes
done, and
sometimes
yeah,
schools don't
they
allow,
don't have
or
the time to,
they
they
don't
don't
have the
have the
equipment.
understanding,
Yes, they don't
right?
have the equipment, they don't have the understanding. And ये सब जो तू बोल रहा है ना, this is all part of the course that I am doing right now. So as a school counselor, I
Wow.
become, yes. So as a school counselor for the development of not just the student in a wholesome and a holistic way, uh, I have to play the role of what a career counselor and gather information and get career information. Not just get, but also make the student capable enough to get those information in his or her own way. Then take then organize workshops, then organize a group counseling. So whatever what you have said right now about how to improve the school system, the education
Right.
system in the school system, is sab apna abhi pad raha hai. Not, but what we are doing is not very technology forced. Sorry, technology focused, but in terms of educating the manpower and as you said, psycho-educating the teachers and the people, not just the people of
That
the
is
school
a lovely
administration.
and it is a welcome change. It is really a
Exactly, exactly. So this is what all is
what
going on right now with the course, and I'm really
what
happy to
could
have
be
done this.
what technology could play over here is,
Mm-hmm,
जैसे 8 घंटे ये लोगों का बड़ा बड़ा इतना होता है रीडिंग एंड
mm-hmm,
रोट मैथमेटिक एंड if you think about it from the teacher's perspective,
mm-hmm.
she may I always think the teacher is a woman. Gender हमेशा उधर ही जाता है. That
It's fine, it's fine. Ha, ha, ha.
the teacher may be repeating that same subject, that same lesson जो उसने उसी दिन या उसी हफ्ते किसी और क्लास में किया, and this she's been doing for years maybe,
Mm-hmm,
जब तक syllabus नहीं बदलता. What how effective it would be if there would be a technological aspect. हर दिन तुम्हें सिर्फ 90 minutes मिलता है वो information subject को बच्चे को समझाने में. It is made in such a way that it is riveting, it's immersive, and
mm-hmm,
immediately तुम्हारा testing हो रहा है. And then 1 week later you test that child and how much the child remembered. And फिर
mm-hmm,
वापस एक बार दिखा दो for revision, and ऐसे करके you have helped the child to memorize that important information, commit it to memory.
mm-hmm,
Important information, you think it is important. That is why they make a syllabus.
mm-hmm,
Their rationale is that children should know these things.
mm-hmm,
So it has been committed to memory, 90 minutes only per day. And the rest of the time, everything that you said, the social interaction, the
mm-hmm,
teamwork, maybe collaborate on some debate topic, maybe collaborate
mm-hmm,
on some scientific project, some entrepreneurial project. There is a venture in America which high school में होता है, it is a school-wide inter-school entrepreneurial thing. जहाँ पे children can start their startups. They can go and pitch it to the sharks. The sharks are teachers actually, and they can run an inter-school market. And token money, it is not real money, token economy. Such things, which is not just developing कि तुमको कितना याद है और end में 3 घंटे
These
पहले
are the what? How should I say? These are the skill-based education that the students are getting for those who
skill
want to
and
become
experience
entrepreneurs.
also. They are getting a demo experience of the real life, isn't it?
Yes.
They are
This
एक
is
तो
that
yeah,
activity
एक तो
can become part of the career education that is required
very
in India.
importantly, it should be. It is like life skill है अभी तो. You should know how to negotiate, talk, pitch, write, sell through writing, convince through writing, through speaking. So whatever soft skills and whatever technical skills and whatever thinking skills you learned and whatever knowledge you had, you sort of apply it in this demo world scenario. A school is like a demo world, right? You apply it in a inter-school market, and you apply it in a project, a scientific project. अपने time पे जो scientific project होता था ना, ये अपने बाजू का एक stationery वाला बंदा था, उसको देते थे, वो बना के देता था. वो हम जाके present करते थे class के सामने. So this is how much.
As of right now, the technology that you're talking about, it's only limited to that interactive whiteboard on the screen.
हाँ, Baiju, an interactive whiteboard. That is all.
That Baiju to class ho gaya. I think some KVs that I know of have adopted those interactive boards.
They have, and even a pad and a tab.
Tab to nahi pata, but those boards jo hai, NCERT organized that they thought that yes, these are required. So I know only a few KVs that have these interactive boards, and I think education through technology is as of right now limited to that. How more? I think we'll have to uh, inquire it from those computer engineers who are right now studying or have completed or are searching for work.
A lot. Maybe you share this podcast with them. That'd be good. We'll get their input on it. I think there's an economic business side to this also. Why technology जल्दी adapt नहीं कर रहे, test नहीं कर रहे, क्योंकि शायद अगर maybe there is a bunch of people who are profiting a lot from the textbook selling and the notebook selling. कि अगर बच्चे directly tablet पे ही चले गए और एक interactive एक board है, एक projector है और उसी से सिखा रहे हैं, तो कितना actually कितना बच जाता है paper, but maybe they don't want that.
A projector with the whole syllabus of one particular class with all subjects in it. Yes, it's
made very very well scientifically designed for capturing the attention, for getting the information, and उसके बाद एक छोटा सा participative learning part जहाँ पे तुमने जो कुछ भी अभी पढ़ा उसके ऊपर भी कुछ ऐसे लिखो.
Correct. वो participative का जो portion है, that could be a separated. That could be done through training those teacher who is going to conduct that particular class to navigate
should
and
know how to conduct,
should
know how to facilitate, should know how to organize, and I was seeing this one Khan Academy interview about a teacher who became an entrepreneur, and she said one awesome thing: teachers are sort of entrepreneurs. The way they are managing a group of people, the way they are getting them to do something, and then they are preparing something for them to learn. It is in a way that entrepreneurial very एक लीडर का स्किल है एक टीचर में होना भी चाहिए. That would be one part where technology could come into education.
Hello?
You there? Yeah. Technology could come into education. That could be one part. And I think we've covered a lot. Is there anything you'd like to add? Final point? Any final points?
I guess it's been covered. No final points. Whatever we wanted to start it off with. What? games, technology, movies, how they have been influencing us, affecting us, and how we can make it in
Present
a
world
positive way.
scenario.
Yeah.
Yeah, positive education scenario for
Mm-hmm.
adults and for kids.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, if it could effectively teach
Mm-hmm.
people very fast, and there are people who have missed schooling, who've not been able to go to school. उनका भी एकदम खतरनाक जल्दी उनका सिखा के हो गया. We
Mm-hmm.
could educate a population very fast.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it could do that, and it could help if you could make a very minimal usage device, a wise tech, minimal usage device which is very durable, which is not meant for planned obsolescence. It will be durable and it will be affordable to people. तो फिर ये टेक्नोलॉजी भी आ गया उनके पास और एक्सेस भी आ गया उनके पास इंटरनेट का, एजुकेशन हो सकता है उनका उससे. All of this could be a very good use of it, and video game could help. I don't know how, but it could help.
Well, let's wait for the future. We are limited in imagining that kind of a stuff right now.
I guess let's imagine the future, let's create it,
Mhm.
right? So
Yep.
extempore ends, drop the mic.
Chalo.
Well,
And
this was good.
cut.
Finally, we have ended this episode, which was one hell of a long journey. Stay tuned, guys, and hopefully, we'll be more regular. I'm sorry, I need to work on my editing and uploading timings and everything. But yeah, hopefully, you guys enjoyed this episode, and stay tuned for the next episode of Thinking Out Loud. Thank you for listening.